On April 10, 2025, a routine helicopter tour over New York City turned into a nightmare. A Bell 206 helicopter crashed into the Hudson River, claiming the lives of 6 people, including an entire family and a skilled pilot. This tragedy shocked the world and raised urgent questions about helicopter safety. In this video, we'll dive deep into what happened, why it might have gone wrong, and what it means for the future of aviation. Stick with me as we uncover the story behind this heartbreaking event. It was a clear spring day when a Bell 206 helicopter, operated by New York Helicopter Charter, took off from downtown Manhattan at 2:59 p.m. On board were Agustin Escobar, a top executive at Siemens Mobility, his wife Merce Camprubi Montal, their 3 young children, ages 4, 5, and 11, and a 36-year-old pilot. They were set for a 16-minute tour, a chance to see New York's iconic skyline from above. The route was standard: a loop past the Statue of Liberty, up the Hudson River to the George Washington Bridge, then back south. Everything seemed normal. GPS data showed the helicopter cruising at 900 to 1,000 feet, and the pilot made routine radio calls like Ranger southbound 900, with no hint of trouble. But at 3:17 p.m., near the Holland Tunnel, something went horribly wrong. The helicopter flipped upside down, broke apart, and plunged into the river. Video footage, grainy but chilling, shows the tail and main rotor flying off, while the fuselage hit the water. Despite flotation devices keeping it partially afloat, no one survived. Let's look at what we know from the crash scene. The footage, though blurry, is revealing. The helicopter was upside down, its tail boom completely gone, and the main rotor assembly, those big blades that keep it aloft, was spinning through the air on its own. The engine looked like it had been torn off, which is shocking for a helicopter built to withstand stress. Yet, the rotor kept turning, meaning the engine was likely still running when the breakup happened. One detail stands out: the helicopter didn't sink entirely. It had automatic floats on its landing skids, a safety feature for overwater tours. These inflated on impact, keeping the fuselage visible for rescuers. But the damage was too severe. There were no survivors. The weather that day: winds at 14 to 19 kilometers per hour, with gusts up to 34, not dangerous for a helicopter. So what turned a routine flight into a catastrophe? The answer might lie in the Bell 200 and SIXS design. To understand this crash, we need to get technical, but don't worry, I'll keep it simple. The Bell 206 has what's called a semi-articulated rotor system. Picture a central pole, called the mast, connected to 2 big blades through a hub. This hub can tilt a bit like a seesaw, letting the blades angle up or down to steer the helicopter. When the pilot pushes the control stick forward, the blades tilt to create thrust, moving the chopper along. It's a brilliant design for agility, used in thousands of helicopters worldwide. But there's a catch. If the blades tilt too far, the hub can slam into the mast, a problem called mast bumping. This is rare in normal flight because engineers set limits, usually 10 to 15 degrees. But under extreme conditions, those limits can be exceeded. When that happens, the impact can crack the mast or worse, send the blades crashing into the tail boom, slicing it clean off. The force is so intense it can even rip the engine loose. Sound familiar? The Hudson crash video shows exactly this. No tail, no rotor, and a missing engine. Mast bumping fits like a glove. But what pushes a helicopter into this deadly state? Let's break down the possibilities. So, what caused the mast bumping? Or was it something else entirely? Let's explore the top theories. First, a bird strike. It's April, peak migration season for birds like Canada geese in New York. Remember the miracle on the Hudson in 2009? A jet hit geese and landed on this same river. A big bird smashing into the Bell 200 and SIXS blades could crack them or throw the helicopter off balance. The pilot might jerk the controls to recover, accidentally triggering mast bumping. The Hudson is a bird migration highway, so this is a real possibility. Let's call it medium likelihood. The footage is too blurry to confirm, and the pilot didn't report a strike, but it could have happened too fast. Next, mechanical failure. The Bell 206 is reliable, but it's not perfect. Back in 2022, the FAA ordered checks on its tail rotor shafts because some were cracking. In 2023, they flagged certain main blades for delamination, basically the layers peeling apart causing deadly vibrations. If this helicopter, built in 2007, skipped those checks, a broken shaft or blade could have started shaking violently, leading to mast bumping. It was the sixth flight that day, so wear and tear is a factor. This feels like a high-probability cause, but we need maintenance records to be sure. What about pilot error? If the pilot pushed the control stick too hard, say to dodge something, it could tilt the rotor too far. But the radio calls were calm. No panic, just routine updates. The pilot, age 36, likely knew this route well. Without evidence of a sudden maneuver, I'd rate this low to medium, maybe as a reaction to another problem. Could it be fuel starvation? Some say the pilot mentioned needing fuel. If the engine quit, the helicopter would drop, but pilots are trained to auto-rotate, glide down using the rotor's spin. Plus, the footage shows the rotor turning strong, so the engine was likely fine. A 16-minute flight shouldn't run dry if fueled properly. This one's low probability. Finally, turbulence. Strong wind gusts could jolt the rotor, but the weather was mild, light winds, no storms. Other pilots reported nothing unusual. Turbulence might have played a small role, but it's not the main culprit. Low probability here. Other ideas like sabotage or another aircraft don't hold up, no explosions, no radar hits. Mast bumping, sparked by birds or a mechanical fault, seems the most likely path. This crash wasn't just a mechanical failure, it was a human tragedy. Agustin Escobar was a leader at Siemens, shaping the future of trains worldwide. His wife, Merce, worked on clean energy projects. Their 3 kids had their whole lives ahead. The pilot, just 36, was doing a job he loved. Spain's prime minister called it an unimaginable loss, and the pain rippled from Barcelona to New York. Economically, Siemens faces disruption. Escobar's projects were massive. Tourism took a hit too. Who feels safe booking a chopper tour now? Socially, it's reignited debate. The Hudsons had crashes before, 9 dead in 2009, 5 in 2018. Some say these tours should be banned. Legally, the NTSB's digging into maintenance logs, pilot training, everything. If negligence is found, lawsuits could follow. So what can we learn? First, maintenance must be airtight, every bolt, every blade. Second, we need better bird detection. Radar could warn pilots. Third, pilots should train more for rare emergencies like mast bumping. And maybe it's time to rethink how we manage busy skies over places like the Hudson. This loss has to mean something. The Hudson River crash is a stark reminder. Even routine flights carry risks. We don't have all the answers yet. The NTSB's still investigating. But we know enough to demand change. My heart goes out to the Escobar family, the pilot's loved ones, and everyone touched by this loss. Let's honor them by learning and improving. What do you think caused the crash? Got ideas for safer skies? Drop them in the comments, I read every one. If this video shed light on the tragedy, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.